when I talk about being at the lowest point in my life, to leave that relationship, I had to cut ties with everything, friends, family, and so I was alone. All I had were my children, and I didn't have friends that I could talk to other than those that were in a shelter, and it was just a very difficult time for me. About 2 weeks after I filed the charges, I got an anonymous text from somebody that, he was trying to contact somebody else. "Hey Rick, what's up, man?" And, it was just a casual text like that, and, I sent back a funny reply, and a bit of banter occurred, and I basically told him, "Oh, you got the wrong number." But this person kept texting and keeping that conversation going, and he became sort of like an outside, somebody that didn't know about my situation. And so I was able to just be Kerry, like without Kerry who's homeless, Kerry who's dealing with domestic violence, Kerry who is, having to find my way back, find my footing back. And we just kept up a conversation, and it was friendly. We were friends for months before we actually met. There was no consent there because I didn't agree to start any relationship with Bob Semenchuck. He was so capable of becoming and morphing into this person that I knew as Jay Lewis. January 12th, 2023, I got a random text from him. We started a conversation. We started texting back and forth and catching up. I remember asking him, I was like, "Wow, it's been a long time." I was like, "What was I doing last time we chatted?" And he said, "Teaching," but I had just started teaching. And I was like, "Oh, okay."
So did that send up?
I was like, "Okay, well, he has been looking me up or Googling me or something." It wasn't very long that we were messaging each other. That I think it was maybe 2 weeks. And in one of the conversations, he used some foul language. And that just triggered me because he had never once in the entire time I knew him, he never once lost his temper, used foul language, and in the context of the text, like he was annoyed and he used some foul language. And then I was like, wow, that's really different. And then I was like, do I really know this guy? Because my idea of him was from 2018 to 2021 when he was, like a lifeline. He was somebody that, was there when I needed someone. And I got curious. I was like, do I really know this guy? And I was like, I don't have any photos of him. I don't have anything to go on. I don't have anybody I can ask to verify because nobody ever met him. And fortunately for me, back in 2018, I had sent a photo to a friend of mine she didn't live here. I sent it via Messenger. She was like, well, what does he look like? And I sent it to her. And she's like, oh, okay. No, he sent it to me because I didn't know what he looked like. And
during the text,
before I actually met him, he had sent me a couple photos.
What do you do?
I took the photo and I uploaded it into a reverse image search program. And I got 3 hits, and there was one that was clearly him, but it was like blurred out. There was just like his face. And so I had to pay the money to get it revealed. And when I opened the photo, it was him and another person I recognized, because when I worked, I covered a lot of stories at the police service. And so I recognized certain officers that were in like the communications field, like staff sergeants, and I recognized names. And I seen a staff sergeant beside him, and they were at a desk, and he had his arm around him. And there was still, in the background, there was a jacket, and it had the RPS, logo. He wasn't dressed in a uniform or anything. He just had like a checkered shirt on. And it was still reasonable, because at the time the police headquarters was being renovated. So I was like, okay, well, maybe he was just working there. Maybe he was just in the building and this guy wanted a selfie. But the back of my mind, I was like, that's too suspicious. And so I did some more digging, and I asked some people that I knew that were in the police service, like, oh, do you know this person? Oh yeah, I know that person. And then I got a name. I got Sergeant Robert Semenchuck. And they said, oh, his name is Bob. When I found out that he was like a police sergeant, everything just come flooding back. That moment when I went to the police service and I filed those charges against my abuser, and I thought right away, like, did this person get my number off my file? Like, did he target me? Did he know who I was? Why did he hide his identity? Where did he get my information? And I was scared, like, I didn't know who he was. I didn't know if he was watching me. I didn't know if he was outside my house. I didn't know if he was like stalking me. Like, I didn't know if he was violent. I didn't know if he had a gun. I didn't know what he was going to do to me. He was a person of power. I didn't know what he was capable of doing, what kind of retaliation would come. I didn't know if he had support within the police service. I didn't know what I was going up against. It was a violation. I do remember when I spoke with the police that, the way I was feeling. Like, I felt like I was raped.